This fall, I co-commissioned a Pokemon Draft League with Fataliss Plays games that we called the Fataliss Pokemon League. And since mid-September, our coaches have been battling it out, fighting for playoff spots. After 7 weeks, the playoffs were finally set. Over the course of this video, we will go over the entire playoff run to crown the first ever champion of the Fataliss Pokemon League. Let's go over some of the teams that are participating in the playoffs. Our 8 seed is the only 4-3 team in the playoffs and is a team led by the monsters of Krookodile, Dragapult, and Azumarill, who posted an impressive 20-8 collectively, is coach Tanner K64 and the LA Nidokings. Our 7 seed, after posting an impressive season where differential eventually did him in, our kills leader, Urshifu Rapid, the 1 Outlaw, and the Ottawa Senatoros. And we can't forget about his brother, the 6 seed, who finished with the exact record and differential, but with the victories over common opponents. An all-around performance from a team with no Pokemon in the top 25 for kills was Supernova XD and the Hamilton Boltons. In the 5 seed was a team that squeaked above Nova and Outlaw with a positive 8 differential, consistently led by a core of Iron Valiant and Dragonite that find themselves both in the top 5 for kills is Farl 3NX and the Aston Vivillon. The 4 seed, tied with the 3 seed, but due to common opponents, finds himself facing off with Farl, led by a core of the 2nd place kills leader Great Tusk, and 7th place Cresselia is Blue Fusion 321 and the Alabama Feraligators. The 3 seed was a newcomer to draft format but a seasoned VGC player, an offensive duo that combined for 18-6, and coming to every match is Kingambit, Mamoswine, and CritCap's New England Patrats. Undefeated until the last week when he faced the 1 seed is one of the most threatening rosters in the league, Skeledirge, Enamorus, and Coach Cool Kicker with the 2-seeded Den Hog Darumaka. And in the 1 seed is the undefeated coach who never won by less than 3 is Pawmot, Meowscarada, Manaphy, and Coach Magnus TB and the Stroman Staraptors. Our teams are ready to face off for week 1 of the playoffs, and first up is the Darumakas against the Senatoros. And unfortunately, that replay is corrupted. Of course it is. It's really hard to be professional sometimes. But I will tell you what happened either way, which is that Cool Kicker is going to walk away with a 3-0 victory behind a strong performance from Sneasler. In order to prevent a Rillaboom sweep, Outlaw did have to sack his Donphan, which allowed Sneasler to clean up and grab a bunch of kills. In match 2, we find the longest match since mine against Nova, with Magnus and Tanner in our 1-8 matchup. Overquill starts off with a big Ice Beam on Gliscor, but Poison Heal Gliscor simply does not care about it. The next 20 turns are a combination of Jirachi Wish, Hazard Setup, switching, and firing off not very effective moves. With Moltres in his face, Jirachi sets up a Wish and switches into Infernape, taking Hazard's damage before falling to an Air Slash for first blood. Another 20 turns of switching and wishing leads to a pivot into Overquill, who falls to the Hazards in front of Moltres. Dragapult Dragon Dances as Moltres Air Slashes away the substitute. Dragapult goes for another sub as Moltres crits and gets rid of it right away. Dragapult goes for Dragon Darts and Moltres lives on 1, taking Dragapult out. Jirachi U-turns out as Vaporeon switches in, and Lurantis has a field day with Contrary Leaf Storm as Vaporeon sets up a Wish. Moltres comes back in and gets the Roost plus Wish, while Lurantis goes for Superpower, and Moltres gets the burn for the first time from Flame Body, more or less sealing Tanner's fate. Lurantis will clear the hazards and falls to 2 flamethrowers. Jirachi and Goltrace try to salvage the match with Doom Desires and Wishes, but the damage was done as Magnus will take round 1 in the playoffs with a 5-0 victory. Match number 3 is between Farl and Blue. Blue told me he was nervous going into this match because he thought Farl had a good matchup into him. So how'd he do? Well, on turn 1, Rabombi gave Electrode a Choice Scarf while he taunted. Blue switches into Salamence while Rabombi goes for a Moonblast and gets the kill on turn 2. Farl would go on to dent most of Blue's team in successive turns, busting Horrorark's Veil with a U-turn, chunking 64% into Great Tusk with Ice Spinner, eventually grabbing the kill with Ice Shard after Alomomola comes in to hit a flip turn, and knocking off Spidops' red card before finishing it off with Moonblast. Cresselia will grab a kill on Rabombi with Ice Beam, leading to a Goldango chunk with Make It Rain. Blue goes for a skill swap on Goldango, but it doesn't affect him because of his ability. Cresselia would then try a few times to swap back and forth, but would eventually fall to 2 Goldango Shadow Balls, leading Farl to a 5-0 victory, the second of the playoffs. The final match of the first round is between Nova and CritCap, and one of the best matches of the playoffs. CritCap leads the battle by going for Terra Ground on his Mamoswine right off the bat. With Terra Ground, CritCap is able to fire some massive earthquakes into Screamtail and Hilligant before swapping to Chandelure to eat a Terra Fighting Leaf Blade. Chandelure burns Clodsire, nuking its offensive capabilities. Clodsire toxics Chandelure, putting it on a timer and forcing a switch back to Mamoswine on a recover, but it's not enough as Mamoswine takes it out. Chandelure wrests away the Toxic on a swap to Fetty Fazbear and switches to Fezandipity on a massive Earth Power, proccing the Moronga Berry, raising his special defense before a Roost comes out. The next Earth Power will take the special defense boost away as Fezandipity thieves away the Pasho Berry and dies to another Earth Power. Rotom Wash sees an opening and comes back in, forcing Screamtail back into the fight just to die to a Hydro Pump. Once again, Chandelure will take a Leaf Blade and a swap to Mandibuzz renders an Earth Power useless before Blood Moon does 52% to the Condor. Brave Bird hits the swapping Armarouge, activating its weak armor before it fires off an Armor Cannon on the next turn, taking Mandibuzz. Dark Pulse fires for 72 into Chandelure and takes it on the next turn when it doesn't wake up. Rotom comes back out and smokes Hilligant for 39% with a Hydro Pump. Blood Moon comes back in and Rotom misses the Hydro Pump, giving Ursaluna a chance to hit a Blood Moon for 50%. Vacuum Wave hits with priority for 10% before falling to a Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump takes a Shell Arm Rhetorical in one shot and misses the Hydro Pump after taking an Expanding Force, dying to the same on the next turn, which allows Mamoswine to come back in and clean up, giving CritCap a 2-0 victory. In round 2, we're going to see Magnus and Farl take off in another long match for Magnus. The first 10 turns consist of Rocks, Substitutes, Encores, and Chilling Waters. On turn 16, Spectrier enters the field and sets up another Substitute. Knucklestack comes in and breaks 2 subs in a row, knocking it to 1%, before Draining Kiss brings it back up to 28. Spectrier takes the kill on the following turn. 15 turns later, Alomomola Wish passes into Regieleki, but Gliscor takes the kill, anticipating a swap. Alomomola does get a Scald Burn on Tinkaton, but over the next couple turns gets taken down to 10%. Iron Valiant picks up a close combat on Tinkaton, and Spectrier takes that out on the next turn, and grabs Slowking after a substitute. Alomomola protects to prevent Spectrier from getting another Grimnay boost as it dies to Toxic, allowing Goldengo to come in and die to another Shadow Ball, giving Magnus the match and another 5-0 victory for the Staraptors. On the other side of the bracket, we have another fantastic match between Cool Kicker and CritCap. CritCap options not to bring his Ogerpon as he deems it as a bad matchup into Kicker's team. So will that be his downfall? Well, on turn 1, Rotom Wash is going to get a Will-O-Wisp onto Lycanroc, meaning he takes 13% from the following close combat as he sets up a Reflect. Lycanroc taunts as Rotom gets a huge 68% on a Volt Switch and taunts Mandibuzz, preventing the defog. Both parties swap, leaving Ting-Lu against Rotom Wash. Rotom will burn Ting-Lu, which I know can absolutely cripple this already not offensive Pokemon as he goes for Spikes. Ruination will hit for 46% after Rotom sets up another Reflect, switching out into Mandibuzz. Ting-Lu whirlwinds out Fezandipity, who takes 24% from the hazards. Empoleon comes in while Fezandipity roosts, prompting a swap into Kingambit on the Surf. The next Surf crits while Kingambit uses Throat Chop for 48%, and a Sucker Punch fails while Empoleon roosts. One more Surf will eliminate CritCap's best performer. Rotom comes back in and Volt switches on Lycanroc, coming in, grabbing the kill. Mandibuzz comes out, prompting Enamorus to make his grand entrance, Moonblasting for 89%. Mandibuzz finally gets off her roost and swaps out as Fezandipity comes in to take 5% from Superpower. A failed Poison Jab leads to Articuno Galar coming in and taking a Surf for 47% before tricking a Choice Scarf onto Empoleon in return for the Shuca Berry. The next Surf will hit for 49%, and a third will finish off Gardecuno. Mamoswine comes in and Terra Grasses and returns with an instant kill on high horsepower. Sneasler's up next, forcing a swap to Rotom Wash, and a Dire Claws leaves him with 9% after leftovers. Another one will finish off Rotom. Dippity is back, forcing a swap to Ting-Lu on a dual Wing Beat. Mamoswine comes in on a Ruination for 5%, and Roost on the Enamorus swap. Dippity comes in, Ting-Lu comes in, Mandibuzz comes in, Enamorus comes in, and Enamorus predicts a swap with Earth Power miss, and Mandibuzz misses a Toxic. Earth Power will hit on the next one for 53 into Fezandipity, forcing a Mamoswine swap. Earth Power hits for 22 and Ice Shard for 65, leading to Moonblast grabbing the kill. With Sneasler and Skeledirge still untouched, Enamorus cleans up with an Earth Power and a Moonblast, sending Cool Kicker to the finals for a Week 7 rematch with Magnus. The final match is set, and as of just a few hours ago, Magnus has posted the video for the finale, so we're going to watch that together. Now, Magnus and Cool Kicker have given us a treat in that this match will take place in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet rather than Showdown. However, that means this is not a replay, this is a screen recording, so I will make the cuts as I need so that this video doesn't end up being 3 hours long. With that being said, though, let's jump into the first ever championship match of the Fataliss Pokemon League. So if you're a fan of the FPL, rest assured, Season 2 is on its way, baby. Don't be sad. It's coming back in just about 3 weeks. Maybe less if I can even count correctly. Maybe it's 2 weeks. I don't know. So here we are with the finals. This match was posted on Magnus's YouTube channel. He figured this was the best way to do it, was just to crack out the old Elgato, record it this way, and post it here so that we could watch and react to it later. So why don't we jump right into it? We can see that Magnus is bringing his Cyclozar with the Assault Vest, his Toxic Orb, Gliscor, and boots on everything else. That's kind of funny. Meowscarada, Moltres, Spectrier, and Vaporeon. I can anticipate Vaporeon's going to be doing some Wish, Scald shenanigans. Meowscarada is going to be at full attack. Spectrier is going to have Shadow Ball, probably Max Speed Jolly. Cyclozar with AV. AV kind of prevents him from doing some things that he might want to do, but either way, on the other side, we're going to see Cool Kicker. That's going to be this side of the match over here. Has Empoleon, Drifblim, which is interesting. I really wanted Drifblim for this season. We have Skeledirge, Sneasler, Tatsugiri making an appearance, and Rillaboom. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to make cuts where we need them to be. I just won't talk much while they're picking moves, just so it makes it easier for me to edit this later, because I am trying to get this out over the vacation. I hope you guys are having a great holiday season. As you are watching this, I am most likely either in California or on my way to California. Depends on when I decide I'm going to post this video. Spending a couple days there. So we're going to see them lead right away. Wow, that was a very fast move. I didn't even see what he picked. We're going to see Spectrier against Tatsugiri, and right off the bat, we know that he's going for a Shadow Ball. He just wants to get rid of this right away. I respect it, honestly. He's going to swap out Tatsugiri on turn number 1. Something's going on with his hooves, I think. I don't think that's what he's supposed to look like, but he's going to go into Empoleon for the Shadow Ball, which is going to do a little bit of chunk change. And we are going to see the lefties come on out for Empoleon there. So we know he's the lefties Empoleon. And now we're going to go for a Will-O-Wisp from Magnus. Unfortunately, we can't see what's going on the other side with Cool Kicker, but I have to assume that he's just taking his time. Magnus seems like he really knows what moves he's going for. The Will-O-Wisp is going to come off and get the burn on Empoleon. Empoleon's going to fire back with a knockoff, doing 77 damage, getting rid of the boots. It's not great for Spectrier, who doesn't really want to be taking many hazards. Only has Draining Kiss as a recovery option. The burn is going to definitely hurt Empoleon if he's a physical set, which it looks like he might be with knockoff. I'd have to imagine, though, he's still going to have like Hydro Pump as his water move. Spectrier is going to go for a taunt onto Empoleon, and is that going to get him to do anything? Oh, the Stealth Rocks was coming out. Interesting. And Spectrier is going to swap out in favor of Cyclozar, as another knockoff comes out, getting rid of his Assault Vest. I'm going to make an executive decision. First off, we're watching this in 1080p. I'm going to watch this at 1.5 times speed, just to speed it up just a little bit. Empoleon is swapping on out, and in comes Rillaboom, setting up a Grassy Surge as he does. And here comes a knockoff, taking that, getting rid of his Terrain Extender, which will definitely help him later on, especially if Sneasler is something like Grassy Seed, or if anything's Grassy Seed. A U-turn is going to come on out into Rillaboom, and Cyclozar is going to get on and out of there and go on into Moltres. And a U-turn from Rillaboom at the same exact time. And that U-turn is going to lead into Drifblim coming in. He's got the Flame Orb and the whatever the burn healing ability is called. I totally forget what that one's name is. But he has one where if he's burned, he actually heals. It's like Toxic Heal or whatever, but burn. Moltres is going to get on out of there and go back into Cyclozar, as he's going to set up a Calm Mind. Drifblim getting on out of there, and back comes in. I don't know if we've seen this one yet. This is Sneasler. The pressure is going to come out, and the knockoff going to get rid of whatever it had. which was the heavy duty boot, so it was not a grassy seed variant. Cyclizar getting out of there, and in comes Spectrier for another time as a Toxic Spikes is being set up by Sneasler. Interesting. So now that he doesn't have the boots, that's going to be really unfortunate for him. He's got to get rid of those spikes right away. And Sneasler does not want to be here. He is going to swap out, go back into Empoleon on another Shadow Ball from Magnus. Going to do another little bit of chip damage. Just enough that lefties can get it back, and then Burn can get rid of it again. Actually, he's got Grassy Train up right now, so that's actually fine for him. There goes Empoleon, swapping out one more time. I'm sure he'll do that a lot in this match. There's a reason that this video is 58 minutes long. Skeledirge comes in on a Shadow Ball. Not great for Skeledirge. He's going to get the almost probably close to 40% after leftovers. Or 60%, sitting at 40 after lefties. And he is Terra ferrying his Skeledirge as it is his Terra captain. Thought for a second that that was Magnus Terraing this thing, and I was like, he can't do that. But he was going to get off a taunt, and he was going to go for a rest, and that's going to stop him from doing any of that. Grassy Train is gone. Shadow Ball comes out from Spectrier, going to get rid... Oh, not quite. Did a decent amount, but here comes a Torch Song and erase his special attack. He's got to get rid of this thing right now, and he's going to do exactly that. He has gotten so many sweeps with Skeledirge this year just by going for Torch Song. This thing is kind of disgusting if you just let it go for that move once. It does have the same ability as just using Torch Song here on Spectrier, which is why Spectrier is such a highly valued mon. As we're going to see Tatsugiri switch back in again. Draining Kiss going to come on out. It's going for a Draco Meteor, though, and it's going to pick up the kill on the Spectrier. Tatsugiri with a huge kill, getting rid of a major offensive weapon in Spectrier. Major special weapon is now gone. Meowscarada is going to come on in here, and Tatsugiri is going to get the heck out as who comes back in, but Sneasler exerting his pressure one more time. U-turn. Bug type U-turn, gonna do all of maybe 5 points of damage to this Sneasler here. Quad, not effective move. Here comes Gliscor. He's gonna get his Toxic off with Toxic Orb, and he's gonna go for a Spikes. He's gonna try and get some hazards on the field. But there goes the Sneasler, and in comes in once again the big old blimp. Spikes is set up. I apologize. I said earlier that he has a burn healing move. No, it's his special attack is raised when he's burned. I still don't know what the name is, but I remember that's what it does instead. One of his attack stats is raised. I think it's a special attack. Either way, here comes in Cyclizar. He is toxic from, I believe, Toxic Spikes, or he was burned earlier. But he is going to trick on a Flame Orb, which is not going to do anything because he's already poisoned. And he has no item anyway, so he just got rid of his Flame Orb, put it onto this thing. There goes a knockoff, gonna do some Strength Sap, gonna heal back a little bit. Not as much as it could have been because, oh well, he healed up to full actually. Never mind, excuse me. I thought that wouldn't heal too much. I was mistaken. Here comes another knockoff from the Big Lizard, and there's a trick. Again, he's gonna take it back. He wants the Flame Orb back to give the Flame Orb to something different later. Another knockoff is going to get rid of that thing entirely. That's insane. This sequence of events has been a little crazy here. And there goes the Drifblim once again. In comes in the Monkey. One more time, going to take Spikes damage, but set up his Grassy Surge. No Train Extender, only going to last 5 turns this time. U-turn's going to only do that little much. Like, that's crazy that doesn't do more into Monkey. But here comes Meowscarada back out one more time. He might be going for a U-turn of his own, actually, which would definitely hurt right now. He's going to... Oh, he's probably faster, though, unless he goes for Grassy Glide right now. I see no reason why he would do that. And there goes the Monkey. He just wanted his Grassy Train up again. And here comes the big old Blimp back out one more time. U-turn going to turn him back into a Bug type. Switch him on out. He's out of there. Moltres coming back on the field now in front of the big old Blimp. And there goes the Blimp switching back into Toriel, which is the Empoleon. spikes damage, and plus Flamethrower. Flamethrower is going to do a solid probably about 30%. The lefties plus the grassy terrain minus the burn is going to leave him sitting somewhere probably around 33% right now. And instantly locks in another Flamethrower and doesn't quite pick up the kill. He's going to get a roost off. One more Flamethrower. This time it'll work for sure. Here comes a Stealth Rocks out from Empoleon as he's now sitting at around... Well, he's gaining HP back. He's at a net positive right now. He has to get rid of these leftovers if he wants to do anything, and he has to get rid of this grassy terrain. It is now gone. He is now at a net neutral for his gain and loss. He is going to get on out of here. He's going to swap back into... Who's it going to be? He locks in the Meowscarada without a second thought, and there's a roost from Empoleon. He's going to be back up almost all the way to full. Lefties plus burn is going to leave him at exactly probably around 85% if I had to guess. There goes the Empoleon. Does not want to be in here against this Pokemon. And in comes in the Sneasler one more time, as a Thunder Punch is going to be the move, and it picks up so much damage, but he does not want to be here any longer. He is getting on out into his Gliscor. Gliscor is here now. And a U-turn from the Sneasler is going to come out. He did not want to take that. I believe that he might be asked to be faster. So I understand why. Here's the Blimp. This Blimp just keeps coming in and going out, and I don't know what it does every time. Go for a Protect, see what he wants to do. And he's going to go for Strength Sap. That's a very big play right there. Now, unfortunately, we've seen before that from half, he's able to heal all the way back up to full with a Strength Sap. But no matter what, you have to anticipate that that's the move he's going for right now. And there's nothing you can really do about it. Yep, there it is. It's coming on out. His attack's going to fall. And he's almost back up to full. He has to find a way to get rid of this Blimp. Both fighters at 5 with 2 that have a status condition. And 3 remaining that are not touched yet. Flamethrower comes on out. You're going to knock him down to about 50% when it's all said and done. Flamethrower one more time. He's going to go for another knockoff to get rid of his boots. That's really unfortunate for Moltres. He really wants to hang on to those boots as long as he can. We're halfway through this battle for those keeping track at home. Flamethrower is going to knock him so close to the low, but a Roost is going to come on out, get him back up to where he was before. That's so unfortunate for Magnus. He's now sitting pretty at about 50%. He's going to go for another Flamethrower. He locked it in immediately. Didn't have to think about it. I don't think he's going to eventually win this one. Another Flamethrower comes on out, knocks him down to the same exact place he was before. He's probably sitting at 51 right now, and he's probably doing 25 each time. He needs to either get a roll or a crit. Same damage, same Roost. Flamethrower. Roar, get him out of there. That's something a little bit different. Yeah, get him out. Smart move by Cool to get rid of the Moltres. He's just locked in a war with it right now, and here comes the Vaporeon being dragged out by him. He's going to hard swap out of Vaporeon, go back into Cyclizar, as we're going to see a dual swapping at the same time, and here comes the Tatsugiri once again with his little, huh, what do you mean look on his face. And now we're going to see a hard swap back into the Vaporeon here. Make-A-Wish coming back out. Draco Meteor coming out, going to knock him down to probably about 56% or so. And a Baton Pass after a Draco Meteor is going to tank a Draco, and he's going to swap back into what's it going to be. We'll see. Tatsugiri now at -4 after 2 Draco Meteors as he comes back in. He's going to take some massive spikes damage, almost 50% to be exact, after the rocks. There goes Tatsugiri. And in comes who but back to here. Here comes the big old bird. Roost him back up. U-turn going to do all of maybe 1 point of damage here. As he's coming back in. Here comes the Cyclizar one more time. And a Roost. Nothing's okay. If I'm Magnus, I'm saying to myself, I gotta get rid of these lefties right now or else I'm not gonna get anywhere. He's almost out of Roost PP, I feel like. He's not even gonna go knockoff. He's just gonna U-turn. Oh, well, he swapped. Okay. Okay, this is a momentum move. I get it. Yep. That did probably 1 point. That was a crit. There's no way. That did like 2 points of damage. Well, Cyclozar is U-turned out back into Moltres. Gonna take his rocks damage one more time. And he's gonna have to go for another Roost in the face of this Pokemon. There goes that thing. And here comes the Empoleon once again as he's gonna get off another Roost. I'm just gonna keep playing this little dance thing and keep going round and round like this. Here's another flamethrower. Maybe this time it'll crit. There's a roar. Dragging out who? Is it gonna be Vaporeon again? Is it gonna be the Meowscarada? Maybe not especially who he wants out right now, but it's possible that we can get a little trickery going on. A little flower trickery, maybe. You know, he's just going to hard swap back into who's it going to be. He's going to go for a Thunder Punch, and he's going to swap. Because here comes the Sneasler once again, and the Thunder Punch is going to pick up... Oh, he's going to... Actually, no, never mind. I forgot there were rocks. He's going to pick up a kill with rocks. See, it's tough for me right now calling this game because I can't see like the stuff. I can't see the boosts. I can't see the hazards. Whereas Showdown shows you all that stuff. It's able to keep track of it all. Grassy Surge back up as the Rillaboom comes back in after Sneasler's untimely demise. And he's going to make a swap, go into Gliscor directly? Is that what he's doing? And a U-turn from the Rillaboom into the Gliscor is going to send him on out. Who's he going to bring in to take on Gliscor is the question. And that Pokemon is going to be Drifblim coming back in once again. Now, unfortunately for him, Gliscor has no way to actually touch this Pokemon. He has nothing that he can do except for just set up more layers of spikes, which actually might not be the worst idea in the world. But he's just going to go right back into... No, never mind. He's going to go for another layer of spikes. I guessed it. Sweet. He's going to get a Strength Sap off, lower his attack, and pull him back all the way to full. They're both at full after the Poison Heal. Gliscor is going to swap on out, and in comes Meowscarada Enchanté. As a Hex is going to... Ooh. Interesting tech on the Hex. I don't hate it. You know, 'cause if it hits the Gliscor, that's going to do some decent damage. Thunder Punch feels like the safest move here, but it feels like something else is definitely going to be coming in. He knows it has Thunder Punch. He's not going to forget that. Oh, the Thunder Punch is going to come out, actually, and pick up some huge damage. And he's going to trick whatever he had away. That's going to be a Boots onto the Blimp. That's what he's called. He's a Blimp. Magnus is going to make the switch out with Meowscarada. He's going to go back into Vaporeon here, as he's going to double out as well and go back into Empoleon, likely anticipating the Moltres switch. The Grassy Train up, he is making a net positive, and now the train is gone. And Vaporeon is going to fire off a Wish as he roosts. This match is going to go on for forever. Scald coming out, hit him for probably 1 point of damage. There goes a Roar. Get him out of here. I don't know how they're going to crack this wall. They feel like they're at an impasse. The Wish is going to heal up Meowscarada all the way again. There goes the Empoleon again, swapping on out. Here comes in the Rillaboom, setting back up the grassy terrain. Third time or fourth time this match has been up. There's a knockoff, gonna finish off the Rillaboom. Rillaboom is now gone. No more grassy terrain once this one expires here. And the Tatsugiri back in the game now. Water Dragon type. Looking maybe to fire off a Draco Meteor here if I were him. Just get some massive damage on something. He has a lot of faith right now that this thing is not gonna go for a Draco Meteor if he goes into this thing. Here comes Cyclozar coming on in. Is he going to be Draco Meteored after the rocks? He's going to be Rapid Spin to get rid of those hazards. Raise his speed by 1. There goes the Tatsugiri, and who's coming in? It's the Empoleon! And he's gonna get the knockoff and get rid of the leftovers finally! Once this terrain is gone, this thing is on an absolute timer. It is almost out of roost, and it has no way of healing other than roost. He can U-turn on out, go back into Moltres. He knows the full set. He knows that thing can't touch Moltres. If it could, it would have done it by now. After taking that knockoff, he does not want to be here any longer. He's going to swap on out, go back into the Drift Blim. As here comes a U-turn, going to chunk it for just a little bit. And there goes Cyclozar at the same time. Cyclozar swapping first. Cyclozar right now is in a position where it is one of 3 Pokemon that are poisoned, and the other things are consistently being chunked by these hazards that are here. Never mind, he doesn't have any hazards. I thought he had rocks still. He must have gotten rid of them. There goes Strength Sap, going to lower his attack by 1 and raise him back up just a little bit, but there goes a Wish from Vaporeon, his signature move, it feels like. And that grassy terrain is also gone. There is nothing left for it. Here comes a Haze, gonna reset all the stat drops. And there goes that grassy terrain. He is gonna go for the Haze as, ooh, there goes the Drift Blim. Coming back in is going to be Tatsugiri, as a Haze is going to reset all the stat changes back to normal. The Wish is going to come true, pulling him all the way back up to full. He is a Pokemon at full health once again. It is currently 5-3 Magnus. Baton Pass out from Tatsugiri. He's going to go into, who's it going to be? Back into the Blimp. There's another Wish. Is he going to swap out into now Moltres, maybe? Or is he just here just to get some damage off? Strength Sap coming out from the Drift Blim again, as he is going to end up going for a Baton Pass here, recovering back up to almost full. There we go, switching on out. And Moltres is going to come back into this match, taking more rocks damage. Oh, he still has boots, that's why. Vaporeon still has boots. I knew there were rocks up. Flamethrower here, gonna, oh, his Flamethrower's coming out, but he is switching out, and here comes Tatsugiri about to take a Flamethrower from a Moltres. Doesn't really care about it all that much. Draco Meteor's coming out, he's gonna miss it, and he's gonna go for a Roost, so while he's back at full, I think he was anticipating he would tank that move. The attack would lower, and then he'd be able to Roost it back up almost to full, but he's gonna miss the Air Slash. That is critical there. There goes the Tatsugiri one more time, so he's going to get a free Roost off as the Empoleon comes back in again. We're back here, baby. It has been 51 minutes, and we are back at this. We've been in this position probably 12 times at this point. He has no way of healing it back up. He's going to have to roar him out. He does not want to lose this thing too quickly. Here comes the Cyclozar back in against the Empoleon. Can he go for a knockoff and finish it off, or is he going to U-turn? I think knockoff might get close. He could also rapid spin to get rid of his rocks. Yep, that's what he's going to do. He's going to rapid spin to get rid of his rocks. Because he's going to die to burn here, unless he roosts. But with the rocks gone, that makes Moltres' switch way easier. Never mind, they're back. Is he going to have to go for another rapid spin, or is this thing going to be stuck at 1? Oh, it's stuck at 1. He gets to go for one more rapid spin and just get rid of the hazards again, dude. U-turn coming out, gonna pick up the kill on the Empoleon. That thing is finally gone. We are down to just, I believe it's Tatsugiri and the Blimp, and it is still a 5-0 game, or 5-2 game right now. We're looking at maybe a 3rd consecutive 5-0 victory in the playoffs for Magnus. Just so good at team prepping, so good at planning his teams. Able to keep things alive for way longer than they probably should. Just plays it smart all the time. That's why he's in this position right now to be taking the crown of the trophy for the first ever FPL season. Now this thing does still have that move, Strength Sap. It still has a couple of them left, so I wonder if he's gonna try and stall it out right now with this guy. No, he's just gonna Baton Pass out. He's gonna go back into Moltres, it looks like. And the Wish is going to come true. He's Wish Baton Pass it back to the Moltres, who takes A little bit of rocks chip and then has to eat it. There's a flamethrower, going to do 50%. Strength sap's going to come out, probably heal him back up to around 50, maybe 60% at most. Not even 50 after the burn. And there he goes again. Coming back out is going to have to be Tatsugiri. He's going to have to handle this one by himself. And the air slash is going to take him down, and this one is all but over, it looks like. Unless Tatsugiri can mount an insurmountable comeback, Roos is going to come off, and that surf is going to be rendered useless. Now he gets to U-turn for basically free. Oh, that was a big one. Moltres is getting on out of there. These rocks are still up. He's still got to handle those rocks. If he's not careful, Moltres can't come back in unless he gets rid of them. His whole team is poisoned or at 20%, except for that Vaporeon, who has managed to keep himself pretty much 100% this entire match thanks to Wish. Thunder Punch is going to come out. Doesn't matter which one's switching in here. Something's eating this move. I believe Meowscarada is faster than Tatsugiri. I'm not too up to date on my Tatsugiri stats. And he's going to go for a surf, trying to maybe pick up some big damage, and it's just not going to be enough. And I think at this point, Kicker knows it's more than likely over, as Tatsugiri is going to fall. Drifblim's coming back in. Some big damage from the poison there, but I don't know if it's going to be especially enough. Going to bring the Blimp back in. He can go for another Thunder Punch and finish it off, and that is going to do it. The first ever champion of the FPL is going to be Magnus TB, the coach of the Stroman Star Raptors. Congratulations, Magnus, for your championship. And that is going to do it on season number 1 of the FPL. So if you guys enjoyed season 1, please be sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. I'm happy to announce that the draft for season 2 is happening the week after New Year's. So we'll have the holidays off. We're going to come back and draft, and then week 1 starts on, I want to say that's the 7th. The 7th. So FPL Season 2, not too far away at this point in time. So if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe. We will still be doing our streams. We'll still be doing our videos here on the channel. Hopefully we'll be mounting a better season than 2 and 5 like we did this year, with a little bit better of a draft maybe. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Ethan. This is HardCap Games. Congratulations to Magnus one more time on his victory. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.